Bitcoin has just done something that it has never done in history. And this has huge consequences on the market and what is about to happen next. And right now, starting right now, Bitcoin is on the clock and it has 4 to 8 weeks to do a big, very important move. And if it fails to do so, things could get ugly. I'm going to talk about what that move is. One specific thing that Bitcoin needs to do to avoid chaos. And what are the chances that it does this thing? Because if it does this thing, things could skyrocket. In this video, I want to talk about the dilemma that Bitcoin is in, and it's never been in this dilemma before, and what we expect to happen. Because let's face it, as we stand right now in the market, there is a problem, and it's right here in the charts. Bitcoin has never had almost 500 days of bearish divergence, and we just printed this bearish divergence for the third data point, something that Bitcoin has never done before. So what does it mean about the top of Bitcoin? There is a key message to everybody that holds Bitcoin or wants to invest in Bitcoin. There is a major message Bitcoin is throwing in your face right now, and it has to do with whether you should be buying or selling right now. And in today's video, I'm going to break precisely that down in a simple and easy to follow system that you will get in this video. So let's get into it. Welcome, I'm Steve. Here we deliver honest, sponsorship-free TA with genuine value. Subscribe for a no BS approach that actually helps you. Subscribe. Here we are on the Bitcoin US dollar index, and today we're on the weekly chart. And when we look at the weekly chart, what I want you to notice right away is unprecedented territory. Bitcoin just completed not one, not two, but its third data point of this bearish divergence. This is something that we looked at. We started looking at about 1 year ago when we were back here at this high of the RSI. And we came down and Bitcoin was at around 70,000, and we were waiting for the stochastic RSI cross back in September of last year. And I said, look, the stochastic RSI cross is coming. It's likely to bring us to a new all-time high, but it's likely to bring us into bearish divergence. March, April territory, we looked at one area and one area only because we were having another stochastic RSI cross. We were ready, like, hey, this stochastic RSI cross, it could bring us to yet another all-time high. I made a circle on the chart where we were looking at for the RSI. And I said, just look left, there's structure. So what do we mean? Simply put, bearish divergence is when price continues to go up. So we went from 70,000, we made a higher high at about 100. Then we made another higher high months later at 110, 111. That is a span of 500 days where we made a high, a higher high, and a higher high, right? Bearish divergence means the indicator, any indicator, RSI, for example, made a high, lower high, lower high. This basically is a major signal to the market that something is wrong, and it represents a bearish tendency. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. Okay, this typically breaks downward, bearish divergence. Okay, it's where price is going one way and the indicator is going the other. Almost always in trading and investing, you have the indicator follow price. Whenever the indicator doesn't follow the price and does the opposite of price, it's a signal to you and everyone else in the market like, hey, something's wrong, let's throw up the red flag. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. By the way, later in the episode, I have some crazy news to share with you. What typically happens and what Bitcoin has done in history is it typically has 300 days of bearish divergence, meaning data point 1 and data point 2 are about 300 days apart, and there's only 2 data points. So far in Bitcoin's 16 years, it's done this on multiple occasions, all of them representing a market cycle top. But this one was strange from the beginning. This one was anomaly from the beginning because it came so early and we knew that Bitcoin was going to make a new all-time high. What was uncertain was what it was going to do next. And what it did next was it made a third data point of bearish divergence, something that Bitcoin has never done. However, the S&P 500 has been in bearish divergence for 10 years. So what does it mean about the S&P 500? Because bearish divergence can break at any time. Bitcoin has broken every time after about 300 days. So why this time did we make a third data point? And is there a fourth data point coming? And what is Bitcoin under duress for? I mentioned earlier in the episode, Bitcoin has a timeline right now. You can start your clocks 4 to 8 weeks. Bitcoin is under pressure to do one specific thing, which can really propel the market into absolute pandemonium to the upward trajectory, right? What we don't want to happen is for this bearish divergence to break and, oh my God, Bitcoin's plummeting in prices. And what do we do if Bitcoin plummets in price? Now, I want to tackle each one of these because now you're understanding, okay, I see the bearish divergence. I remember Steve put this circle. And by the way, I put this circle on the chart back in March and April, not because we have some crystal ball, but because when you look at just structure, I love the charts. When you look at the charts, look left, all the facts are there. We had a whole bunch of data points here that were showing this is major area. Then when you look at back here in May 2024, a lot of key structure in that same exact area. Then when you look all the way back here in April 23, also structure in that same area. So we just put a circle on the chart and we said, hey, just be cautious of further evidence of bearish divergence, a third data point, which has never happened, but just watch here. And that's what's happened so far. And this is where it gets more interesting because now Bitcoin is in this situation where it's like, okay, we've never had 3 data points. We've never had 500 days. What does it say about the top of Bitcoin? Well, what it says to traders and investors is that this top is different and potentially prolonged. Potentially that distribution phase that happens at the tops of markets, this one is slightly slower and slightly more prolonged and has different attributes that other tops did not even touch. So what does it mean? Does that mean we have a lot more upside, or does that mean this thing is about to break? And what does it say about Bitcoin's 4 to 8 week time horizon? Let's dig more into that. Now, what is Bitcoin under duress for this 4 to 6 weeks? Well, you see this yellow arrow right here, right? What Bitcoin is under duress for right now is breaking the cycle. It has 4 to 6 weeks to prove itself, to prove that it's going to break this divergence, which it's definitely capable of doing. Now you ask, well, how do we do that? Well, what we have to rely on is we went from structure down here, which is very healthy, because keep in mind our RSI structure, RSI overbought, oversold, it reached down into the 44 area, which it's held as support for this entire bull run, and it held resistance during the entire bear market. So bear market resistance, bull market support since January 23. Keep that in mind. This is multiple years of support. It came down as support and it bounced. It bounced into this area of structure. We look left, we see, okay, structure. And initially it got rejected from that structure. Is that a horrible sign? No. What we needed to do is to close above, not just be above. If you're looking at the chart right now and we're above, irrelevant. What is relevant is when we close the chart, we needed to start holding support for 1 or 2 weeks at above 70. Okay? We need a confirmed close and then 1 week as support above 70. That's what we need to start to turn the tables. Once we have that structure reclaimed as support, we just simply have to get above this 80 level. This 80 level is our data point from December 2024. Once Bitcoin holds support at that 70, it then has a significantly higher chance to get into this 80 area. And the 4 to 8 week time horizon, it's simply because bearish divergence is nothing to mess with. And if this bearish divergence starts to snap, Bitcoin's price will plummet. It has one thing to hold itself there, which is what we discussed at length, which I'll give you a little sneak peek for. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. And it comes down to this chart. This is something that I told you maybe a year ago, where watch the 70 level, right? Any break of that 70 level will be the end of everything for Bitcoin, because structurally we held so many months as resistance and so many months as support. That will be the deciding factor. Any close as resistance to 70, that's all she wrote. But if Bitcoin plummets and we simply hold the body of our closing candle above 70, it's highly likely that we will try to reach this blue line. Right? It just comes down to that. That's what I've been saying for months and months and months. And that hasn't changed. So Bitcoin has 4 to 8 weeks to get itself on track. It's showing signs of a very, very rare occurrence that we've never seen before, a potentially of a prolonged, more slower, drawn out distribution phase than we've ever seen before. And these are early warning signs of precisely that. And Bitcoin is under pressure. Now, for the crazy news. Earlier in the episode, I told you I had some crazier news. Now, I want to let you in a little bit behind the scenes. So, a couple years ago, I started an affiliate program. Okay? The affiliate program, in my eyes, I thought was pretty cool because it could help other people earn a little side income and help change more lives. Like people who really believe in our mission, you know, maybe they can get their friends to sign up, whatever, and they can earn financially from that. I thought it was a way to impact more lives for the betterment of the world and for people trading and investing and making better decisions. I did not expect what happened, and I'm still in shock. I guess this is how the world is. It's hard to believe, but we will be shutting down the affiliate program, unfortunately, because we have been scammed for a lot of money. And I didn't even think that was possible. I didn't think people, why would they do that? I don't know. It's really dirty. As you guys know, I don't take paid ads. I don't take sponsorship deals. I'm probably one of the only one person in crypto, or maybe there's two. But even if you look at other genres and other industries, even people who are business owners and successful business owners on their YouTube channels, they take paid sponsorships in all different industries. Even people who are well off, who are quote unquote rich, or even people who are wealthy and own companies, they still take paid ads. I've been on YouTube for 8 years. I haven't taken any paid ads or sponsorships. Now, why did I do that? Maybe some say because I'm crazy, but because I don't want to promote anything that I didn't build myself and truly believe in myself. And I looked at that as like easy money and a little bit dirty money, you know, to each their own. It's just how I felt about the situation. And I've never taken a dime, and I never will. And we instead focused on helping change lives and helping people make better financial decisions. So I built courses and indicators and memberships, all to help people. These videos that I make on YouTube, yeah, YouTube gives like an ad revenue or whatever. But that, you know, if you know what the ad revenue, it's next to nothing. The real money on YouTube is from paid sponsorships, paid deals, right? And those are really well paid. I decided never to take those. And when I started that affiliate program, I thought it was going to do good. I thought, okay, people believe in our mission. They can help other people sign up, and instead of me getting the money, a lot of the money will go to them and everybody wins, you know, and people are happy and we can help change more lives. So I guess it is what it is, but I just wanted to let you guys know the affiliate program is done. We're going to terminate it. By the way, the dirty people who scammed me, they were never my students. They were never even on our free email list. That should have been my warning, because they weren't behind our message. And by the way, shout out to my students. My students would never in a million years do that to me. They're very good people. In fact, my students on many occasions, many different people have written to me and they said, Steve, look, I've got to be honest, I've signed up to everything you've done. This changed my life. It changed my family's life. It changed our trajectory. I love your stuff. I want to buy a course or buy an indicator bundle or buy an FFA membership for somebody in need. This has happened so many times. My students are such good people. And by the way, they say, look, I don't want the publicity. I don't want to have, you know, I just want to do good, you know, for somebody in need. And this has been really a special shout out to my students. Without my students, this crazy world that's crypto with some of the dirtiness that goes on, I wouldn't be able to do it. But with my students, they keep me motivated. And by the way, shout out to everybody. I've helped so many single mom, every single person, single mom, single dad, vet, somebody from a less fortunate situation, anybody who's ever reached out to me over the past 8 years, I've helped every single one. We're going to continue to do that. Just because there's a couple bad eggs in crypto, we have so much good. Our community here is so special. Our community here is so unique, especially my students. My students are really all about helping others, lending a helping hand when needed, but more importantly, helping people get on this journey of success. What we've built here is changing so many lives. That's not going to stop. And those bad eggs, we learned our lesson and we will move on. It ended up in a way that I would never in a million years have expected, but I guess in life there's a lot of greed, and I guess I need to be more cautious of greed and stop thinking that everyone also wants to help people like I do. Maybe some people, you know, they have their priorities mixed up. In any event, I appreciate everybody's support always on YouTube, and it's because of your support that I keep going with this mission. You know, there's been times throughout the 8 years that we've been punched in the face, kicked in the shorts, and, you know, people want to try to drag us down, etc., etc. And we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep standing up for what we believe in, which is changing a million lives. I was put on this planet to change a million lives. I was put on this planet to take my experiences from charts, trading, and investing and help other people become successful by making smarter, more strategic decisions, and doing so in a structured manner that can really set up them and their family in the future. And I'm going to keep fighting for that. And hopefully our mission attracts more people that also want to support it. I know you support it. I know a lot of people support it, but I just wanted to let you in a little bit behind the scenes. Now, what do I think is going to happen? What do I suspect? No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. I think overall, this might play out. It might confuse and stress out a lot of people, but I think at the end, Bitcoin has a trick up its sleeve, and I think that there is room for more upside, but first it's going to throw us several curveballs. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and hit that subscribe button. This bull run is our road to 500,000 subscribers, but I need your help. Today, tell one person about our YouTube channel, how we spit facts, go against the herd, take no paid sponsorships of any kind. Road to $500,000, let's go.